And what do they have a transmitter on?
And the receiver on 2.7 is on at Kenmare?
At Kenmare.
How can he transmit and receive on the same frequency?
Can't.
Who said it was?
Oh, I thought you said it was
The receiver.
transmitting on 2.7.
No,
receiver.
it's
The receiver only.
Okay, where's the transmitter, Ken?
the transmitter is on the 2.7 receive, the 8.7.
On the what?
Wonderful theater.
Okay, so the transmitter is just reversed.
It's just
like
reversed.
you set up a regular rig.
Just like you, yeah.
They have a symphony.
Okay.
Well, then it'd cycle with this damn thing down here.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Kerchunk, 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 kerchunk.
Yeah, and it doesn't come out of it.
Yeah.
So how did it ever work before?
Well, it had
That's
diff-
my question.
had a different radio for one.
Because it's got two different places. One,
No,
but it was off.
before we changed the repeater at
9.7.
9.7, it worked
Yeah,
with the same configuration as it is right now.
right.
You just gotta dampen the receiver down there.
Wondering what brings you to mine on?
And we've got a 70-centimeter repeater up there for the receiver.
Yeah.
Oh, they did it on 9.7.
Okay.
It's 2.7.
Rich,
What do you,
there's a 70-centimeter repeater up there that is listening to Stanley. I just want to get a picture of it.
And it's hardwired to, this rig.
Okay, so Stanley,
So the
do we know what
receiver, the
frequency that's
receiver
on?
from Stanley, and I don't know what the frequencies are there.
Okay, so it's
They have the
4,
frequency coordinator.
yeah, well, he can look it up. Okay, so it's 4 something.
It's listening on the 440 side from,
So I need to
Stanley.
get a new one.
Well, if
All right,
it
so-
listens from Stanley, why then don't they speed from that repeater deal to the 2.7 or to the 9.7?
because every time they turn it on, it kerchunks back and forth.
did you,
It's both- it's both radios now.
Well, if it, you gotta shut the receiver off from the 2.7 though.
Yeah, okay, but somebody
No,
bought it.
you can't do that or it won't go back.
Glad to get rid of it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, because things.
So even with the new and the
Yeah,
News 9.7 and the old 2.7, it's not working with either one of
it's
those.
gonna,
Over the rugby area.
What
a
was
little
different
bit.
about the old one?
before the old one didn't have a good enough receiver that it chunk.
Didn't hear it.
Couldn't hear it.
Well, can you, put a one-way resistor on it or something?
Otherwise, the old one.
It had the receiver, so you can't, so it won't hear.
Yeah, the old one was an alligator.
So we take the good repeater and we turn it into a junk repeater, it'll probably work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, the old one was
The
an
special
alligator.
added function of the old design.
Yeah, okay, I understand now.
Now, what Robert says
Oh, do you
is
have no family?
the old 9.7's controller
Irving and Ray? No,
waited longer
no
before it
family
dropped.
in Ray or,
Okay.
okay.
Closest family would have been my brother,
So,
Williston, and his wife.
the link system
Turtle Mountain's just
would drop
6 miles from
Right.
the Peace Garden.
Oh.
before this went back to receive.
Okay.
There was always a delay,
Yeah,
if you
your,
recall.
little,
Yeah.
getaway, yeah.
I remember now.
Oh.
I still have it.
Now, the only way that,
Yeah,
I haven't made it now in December.
yeah.
and I haven't read anything on linked repeaters for a long time,
If the snow stays the way it is, I'll
But-
probably get in January.
Well, what would be the solution is that,
go UHF to
Oh, yeah.
2.7 and tie it into that other port on
Go to
the,
Ray Dam.
That's
on the
right.
controller.
That's right.
160 acres of virgin prairie.
That is a 4-port repeater controller,
What you got?
we're using 2 ports.
No, I just leased an acre.
Oh, okay.
I leased an acre.
and use UHF,
Use a UHF and use the controller.
that's
For
right.
50 cents a year.
Oh, that's your.
I gave him $2. He was happy.
So we're fixing a new technology with old technology.
No, you just,
Oh,
you just
there it
current
is.
technology.
But you
Not a
could
good
take out
day
your
today.
place and move it out?
It's on skids.
Some days are good, some days aren't.
I built an addition onto it, but it wouldn't take much. The way I built it.
Now, that's the way I think it is.
Oh, boy.
It's separate.
Well, you sure fed us good yesterday.
Is the Stanley to Williston link doing the same thing? 'Cause that's all the same repeat.
Right, Tracy?
But it's using an UHF link.
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we could use it, you, oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is the same, Joe, this is the same headache that you were trying to use with the kids,
Yeah, okay.
using
that's fine.
crossband repeaters
Saturday we went.
to get the UHF to VHF for
You know,
the,
I actually did have that working. Eventually, I got it figured out.
but I think it's the same scenario.
I should go back, because it seems to me I drew that all out,
Oh, you had pictures all over the place.
but it worked.
Working on a
Well,
line.
did we ever actually,
Yeah.
you actually tried it and it worked?
It was an emergency linking thing,
I sold.
so that you could come into this repeater system.
I remember talking about it theoretically, but I didn't remember.
I made it work, I made it play,
And
Rich.
they moved it.
Yeah.
It
We
worked
still have
great.
the land, but it's under 6 feet of water.
But I think that's the same
But
thing.
I think it could work.
Are you still?
But-
Taxes on it.
How did I
Just
do
need
that?
a different link system between Kenmare and that repeater.
Unless I decide now this year, I just got another statement whether I want to even deal with
What
it.
you gotta have.
You need to put those, that VHF pair transceiver,
You can
flip
Oh,
those,
no.
Oh, my God.
you get a,
Yeah. it's
Tra-
25
Receiver to go back down there
feet of water.
and
and then.
activate.
What's Stanley listening?
Where they come.
I don't know.
Every year the assessor comes.
Is it just that flipped UHF there?
You could ask Bernie, he might remember.
What?
The hot link to Williston from Stanley, you go in on 2 meters at Stanley, or on 440?
No, there was a 2 meter. It's got.
There's a 2 meter at
610.
Yeah,
And it was linked with,
with 440.
And it was a direct link all the way from Williston to Stanley?
yeah.
And then there was the 440 hop to Kenmare. And then they went to 2 meters to try and talk to the 2 meter repeater, and that won't work.
And Kenmare and, I shouldn't say Kenmare.
Well, Stanley to.
Stanley and Williston's
Line up.
working fine, they're linked now,
450
as far as we know.
No, it was never
I think
440
so.
or
I haven't talked
450
to
to mine.
Joe Aho for a long
Never.
time.
Well, okay, what was that Berthold then?
440 and 2 meters.
So,
It was listening to the link from Stanley and transmitting as a mobile would on the 97.
so it was listening to Stanley's 2 meter repeater?
No,
Well,
it was listening to 440,
Link.
the 440 link.
They had another 440 link. Right?
Right, coming
Yeah.
this way.
You had a 440 link from Williston to Stanley.
Williston to
Then you have
Stanley.
another 440 link from Stanley to Berthold.
Right.
And those were controlling 2 meter,
Radios.
2 meter, well, it was actually a repeater in Stanley, was
Right.
it not? But the one in Berthold was just it was a link controlled mobile type unit,
Crossband, huh?
mobile configured unit, right?
Right, it was a separate transceiver, it was a transceiver. we got from Dave.
Yeah, and it would then talk to the repeater in, just like a mobile, it would talk to the repeater in Minot.
Yeah.
On, 97.
On 97, but it
Yeah.
didn't, I can't see how that would work.
What's crossband?
It's
Right?
listening and talking at the same time.
Yeah, but the
Crossband can do that as long as you're on different bands.
It's not really listening and
Yeah.
talking at the same time, because it's going, you know,
Just like, it would work just like it would up there at, Kenmare.
Yeah.
It's not working.
No, at Berthold then.
well, the mobile rig that was running,
It's the same as a mobile talking to a repeater.
yeah, it's configured the same as a mobile talking
Right.
repeater, so that its receive frequency is different than its transmit
Right.
frequency. It's reversed from the repeater,
But the issue we're having now,
and that's simplex. It's either receiving or it's.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like you said
There's
out
no
there.
duplexer on it.
It's a crossband repeater. It's a crossband radio. So at Berthold, what's coming in 440 Berthold goes out at 2,
It keys up a VHF on 2.
right? And then what's coming in on 2 keys up the UHF back.
Keys up the keeps up the UHF.
But now you're trying to get in the link, aren't you?
No, it's the same exact configuration. The only thing that has changed is the hardware in mine.
Did anybody change, in that whole thing, has anybody put on a tone reading?
Yes.
And they toned it. But see, this thing was working fine till they put those Yaesu repeaters in. Right?
And the
So
receivers
they
became
do
good
something
enough so
different
that
for,
they start
COR,
cycling.
carrier operated relay somehow.
Well, put it simple, tone up your 440s,
We did.
tone up the 440.
We did.
And it still goes ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk? Jeez.
Well, but what,
Let me think about that.
you're not
Because
receiving and transmitting on 440 though, are you?
I've linked back and forth repeaters for years.
Robert and Kirk have been talking to Dave about this.
Dave,
Bernie,
Bruni.
Bruni.
Yeah, okay.
from the time we got the Yaesu repeater.
Yeah? God, I'm gonna be late. She's gonna skin me.
Been nice knowing you, Bernie.
Just buy her a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Take it over,
Hey,
Bernie.
Bernie,
Yeah.
thanks for coming.
Yep.
So right now then, Alfred Kenmare, they've got a 440 link coming out of there.
No.
No.
Well, to Stanley.
Okay, so what frequency do you access Kenmare on?
Do we access Kenmare?
Yeah.
We go around the 97.
Is it the 440?
No.
Yeah.
In Kenmare.
146,
What's the
6.
local
The
access?
440 link?
So how do you get from Kenmare into the link? There's no access.
You talk on the 97.
So you're coming direct from Kenmare, direct to 97?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Well, the crossband repeater would be a lot more efficient.
See, so I transmit on 97.
Here.
Here, I'm in my
Okay.
car.
Yep,
I transmit on 97.
yes.
The repeater hears me. It retransmits, well, I'm not transmitting on 97.
You're transmitting on
I'm
37.
transmitting on 37.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm transmitting on 37.
yes,
Repeater transmits on 97.
yes.
The machine in Stanley,
The machine
or in Kenmare.
Kenmare listens on 97.
Okay. I hear ya.
And is linked to the UHF, but it hears on 97. It retransmits on UHF
Okay, that's crossband.
to,
Whoever you
Stanley,
is out there.
all right.
Okay?
North of Willett.
So,
then when I release push stop button,
yep,
we get the relays dropping all the way up the line. And somebody in Williston says something, comes in on UHF to
Kenmare.
Kenmare. Then it transmits on 37,
yep,
and the repeater transmits that on 97, and I hear it.
Well, tone should do that, though.
yep.
I mean, let's,
No, I don't think so, because
Because every time that
you've
repeater
got
up there,
RF and delay somewhere that's holding up longer, and it holds up the other radio, and it's still keyed. So you get a cuckoo,
and that's what's happening.
they're not timed.
They never release.
And so,
Well, they don't
they get in a loop.
Talking to each other.
They get in a loop, a transmit-listen loop.
They can't adjust the timing.
Well, that's what Rick's saying, that the Vertex or Yaesu stuff can't adjust.
No, okay, you wanna know why you can't mess with the timing? Because of what they're doing with digital input.
See,
They're waiting for it to,
Right.
it's gotta convert the digital to analog.
See, and I don't think, that's not the old-fashioned carrier-operated relay system of repeaters, it uses a different technique.
Yeah, 'cause they have to, because it's, you know, to make it work
Something's
both ways.
transmitting, hanging it up, see?
Could we not take the new repeater, put it somewhere else, put the old repeater back where it was?
Well, here's why I thought maybe, I mean, what you do is it's gotta be able to,
But
no, it doesn't, hold on. But tone should work. What you do is you prevent, the only thing that'll kick over that that you put a CTC, whatever, a tone, some sort of a tone sequence on the receiver.
On the
At
receiver,
Kenmare.
doesn't have repeat.
Right, so the only thing that no, that won't work.
Yeah, but the repeater here has a tone,
Actually,
has a
we
receive
still have the
tone
old
on
box
it. Why can't you use that?
Why not?
The only time you want this,
It would go into
3.7 machine to kick
Per
over.
chunk thing for a period of time and then.
Doesn't the repeater here have a tone deal?
Yeah, it does.
It won't on receive.
that
Why don't you
crossband
put that
camera
on
back
the
up.
deal?
Gotta work. But,
Listen on the 440 side, transmitted on the 2 meter side.
Right, and let it go.
But that should be basically what the same thing we're doing.
right, well, the problem is,
We're just using different
If
radios.
you had a
What's in
receiver
Kenmare?
Kenmare that had a
No.
receive tone on it, it
Not a
would
repeater
work,
in
wouldn't
Kenmare,
it?
it's radios that we got from Dave.
If you had a
Don't
receiver
program them.
that had a receiver
UHF
tone on it, you know, that you could set up
It
so
is
it don't
possible
hear
that
anything else.
there's a harmonic that's in
Wouldn't
the
it work?
UHF getting back into the VHF right there in the building.
well, here's the other thing, too. Really, in real life, you don't want this transmitter to go on. The transmitter Kenmare, you do not want that thing keyed unless there's a signal coming in from Stanley on 440. Otherwise, that 2 meter transmitter should never trip. So when the transmitter from Minot comes on, it should not trip the transmitter. It's gotta get through the receiver all right, and it's gotta trip the 470 centimeter link. But all you gotta do is break that line between the receiver in Kenmare and the transmitter in Kenmare. The 2 meter receiver in Kenmare and the 2 meter transmitter in Kenmare never have a reason to talk to each other.
And if that receiver in Kenmare had a tone on it, it would only listen to certain.
You don't even need,
work with.
right, you could play with tones maybe, Art, but I don't think it's like that.
Joe, they're talking, the transmitter in Kenmare is talking on 9.7, 2 meters,
Correct,
back here.
right, it's actually transmitting on 3.7, but the point is, when it hears something on 9.7, it should shunt that directly to the 70 centimeter link.
Well, that's crossband.
Right.
That's what it,
Right,
that's what it's
they
there
want.
for.
You never ever want this thing to key up the 2 meter back to Minot, unless it's a 70 centimeter signal coming in.
I'm
Crossband both ways.
wondering if we're getting something from down the line.
Oh, somebody changed.
Well,
Well, they did.
We're transmitting on the 440, it goes to Williston, and something's hanging in Williston, and it
Right.
comes back.
Right. Well, anywhere that you have a hang.
When you're
Yeah.
feeding Kenmare right now, then you're going directly to 9.7. Just like you were talking on, 2 meter rig up there in Kenmare.
I'd like to have some more juice, this is too
But
thick.
instead you put radios in, so you crossband
This
it
is an
to
interesting
440.
The same basic principle.
Well, if they put a
Crossband receiver.
link on it.
You know, you could, because you got a whole Motorola gear, you could have a harmonic relationship with your IF or something.
Right, but you do want it to hear it, because when it hears it, you want it not to
The-
kick over the 2 meter transmitter and kick the 70 centimeter.
Why didn't they just leave, put that crossband back up there in Kenmare?
Rigs up there.
If you're up there,
Yeah.
Bowbells,
Well, just
One
run,
coming in and one going out.
Right.
I think they're using one.
you know,
so they got 2
Oh,
radios
you
up
look
there,
good
that's
with-
all, you just,
You
it's the
just
way they
take
got
it up for
them.
reverse.
Okay.
you could
Well,
get,
then if
you
they
could get into with that,
tone
to get right
one,
tones on it.
This repeater wouldn't
So
actually.
Kenmare can talk directly in 9.7, huh?
Yeah, this receiver, this transmitter needs never
Well, as far as
actuate based
we're talking
on
about
an input signal from mine.
That's what I say, put a
The
damn.
70
tone on it.
centimeter one
The
should.
70 centimeter, let it go
The
through,
Kenmare equipment.
on the other one.
Yeah, but what Rich is saying is maybe this hang up, maybe this is fine. Maybe
Is it empty,
that's-
Utah?
Kind of by the
No, it's
happening
the
is
reservation
something-
telephone.
Res tel phone.
Taller phone,
If
it's a lot taller.
you had the damn.
I've never been up there.
Here's your pen.
I don't know one.
MDU tower is not as big, neither is the shack,
I don't
neither is
know.
the doorway
I
to
don't
the shack.
I'm not an expert.
That's right.
Because we would've had to take an equipment apart to get it into the.
Yeah, you would have to take it out of the rack to get it in
Right.
the room.
Okay, Minot has
Well, this is, you're right, Lynn, it's just
37.
crossband both ways.
3797, right?
Yeah, so you got a crossband repeater
You
going,
got the guy here in Minot driving around, his input's on 37.
correct,
He's listening on 97,
correct.
okay? If you're out here at Kenmare,
Yeah, but you're not at Kenmare with a mobile. That's,
No.
it lives by itself out
hang
there.
on, Joe. On the tower of reservation, you got the crossband radio. How they work is you input on 440, whatever it is. This thing transmits out on 37,
Right,
okay?
It's not a true crossband radio.
This thing
it's two
here,
radios,
when
right?
it transmits on 97,
it outfits,
Now,
is out on 440.
correct,
So you really, all you need is a UHF radio when you're in the Kenmare area, and you should be able to be hearing 97.
yeah, if you're on
Take all the
the,
other stuff away.
if you're on the link, on the UHF link frequency.
What link
You should be able to listen on these.
Well, yeah, but they're a simplex frequency somewhere.
No.
Well, they should be.
That's duplex.
Why? Well, it could be either, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, these could be simpler, running simplex, so that anytime you transmit, you send out the signal to send out 37, and when you receive.
Okay.
So, and this should be simplex.
Are these radios, receiving on one band, transmitting on another band?
yes,
You know, the same
individual
radio
way.
doing that.
they should be.
Right, you can only go one way at a time.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so this is, if this receives this, if it's simplex, it's gonna wrap around.
No. Crossband radio, when it receives a signal on VHF, it retransmits on UHF. Okay, so that's it. When you drop it, it doesn't hear it no more, when you transmit UHF, it
Yes,
transmits
okay.
VHF.
Same frequency.
So it's just
Yeah,
like
it
you're
is
talking.
simplex.
So what you're doing is building an extender here.
Would
But
the,
I think, I'm not, I wouldn't swear to it, I think this is a duplex.
Why?
Not today.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, you could build it like you're talking duplex. Say, Joe, didn't we do
Yes,
this
we
with our
did.
crossband radio?
Yes, we
That's the
did.
same goddamn problem.
Yeah, but we fixed it. We got it done,
But you know what we did? We ran a simplex out here on the 440 side,
that's right.
or simplex on the 250
No, I wrote
side.
that all down somewhere and I've got it at
Because-
home. No, that's exactly what we did,
When
Lynn.
you're transmitting, this thing was hearing, see?
You don't want that, you want.
You don't want that.
No, when it's transmit, so you can be simplex between here and Stanley on UHF and solve the problem,
Yeah.
Between here and Stanger and Kenmare.
or Kenmare, no, here in Stanley.
Because didn't we fool around with that, trying to recreate it?
No, I mean Kenmare, Stanley,
Yeah.
pardon me.
We tried to recreate it,
Yeah, and if we did,
Mhm.
we had it cooking,
but we used simplex inputs.
Correct.
Not duplex.
that's right. And I'm wondering if that duplex input isn't screwing you up because it allows it to hear.
Well,
it could chunks.
it's possible when you're transmitting, it's, the other side, see, is receiving yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because when you transmit 3.7, the other receiver over here is listening for 9.7. You get a loop.
That's right. So it's a good chunk in between.
Okay, in a crossband radio, the receiver on 2 meters isn't listening while the other one's transmitting.
That's right, that's
Okay?
right, that's
They
right.
maybe built themselves a problem.
they're not using a true crossband.
They're two separate radios.
Yeah, well, see, with the crossband, you got the same radio.
So you're thinking that if we took our crossband machine up there replace these two radios,
Yes,
with our crossband machine,
keep the simplex.
but it's duplex coming out of Stanley.
So change
So
Stanley.
what? You said you were talking
Well,
to
that's hard to
97
do.
directly. You just got done telling me that this
Right.
thing is listening and
Right,
translating.
but this side, just from Kenmare to Stanley, I'm sure is duplex,
Yes.
Why?
because that's the way they designed this system.
Well, that could be maybe another set of radios running a link, separate, on a different frequency.
Right.
But
If
you,
we had another,
see, the problem here is when you got two separate radios, this receiver is listening to 9.7 while you're on 3.7.
Yeah,
And then, and it's hearing the repeater,
yeah.
and you don't want that.
that's what I've been trying to say, but I haven't been able to get it out.
Because it loops back, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've been.
While you're talking,
Yeah.
it almost seems to work, but when you unkey, it just,
It's because this thing, there's timing.
If you wanna continue using two radios, you could probably do some wiring between them. Figure out how to mute the one. Just say-
Well, that's why a crossband transceiver works, because when the transmitter on 2 meters is on, the receiver isn't on.
it quits listening, yeah.
Yeah. Because it can't talk to each other, otherwise it would overload the front end of the receiver.
That's right.
The front end.
And I don't know anything about the system from here west.
So when this thing hears the signal from Minot on 9.7, the only thing that gets activated in that home